The pain, though excruciating, felt familiar. Shadows bathed the room. The sound of battle and the scent of blood, sweat, and excitement spiced the air. Verusian rolled away before the blade took off his whole hand. 3 of his fingers lay scattered across the hated blue mat, the bright spatter of blood a welcome sight against the never-ending tedium of exhaustion and annoyance, or what their jailer called their daily training, more like time spent in a torturous gymnasium for the damned.
"By the Black Crow, are you dancing or fighting?"
Gwyn roared.
"Pin him down, lads. Stop playing with your prey. He's not dinner."
But no one paid Gwyn the slightest bit of attention, the plotting bastards competing to end Veru once and for all. Gwyn ap Nudd, a fey hero and renowned leader of the wild hunt, had a pedigree the gods must envy. He was eternally young, sound of mind and body, and beautiful. His green eyes were sharp, his hearing excellent, his ability to track unparalleled. And he hated being ignored. But what could he expect with students who despised being told what to do? Compliance? Vampires didn't follow rules. Even Gwyn knew that. Nachzer revenant vricolakas. Known by their many tribal names across the world, vampires had 2 major things in common. They detested anyone not a vampire, and they loathed those outside their own clans. Cursed long ago to check their growing power, vampires could only coexist in small groups. Yet despite their many conflicts, those of the blood possessed similar traits. All vampires, no matter where they came from, were male in gender. They could go unnoticed by humans unless they wished otherwise, and they couldn't survive sunlight. Most of them had dark hair and dark eyes that turned red when in extreme duress or excited. Like now. All the vampires training with Veru stared with red eyes, their fangs visible, their nails steel-hard claws. The scent of blood filled the room, and hunger pulsed in the air. Gwyn thought that keeping vampires underfed and on edge would encourage an adherence to discipline during hard times, but he only made them more ferocious and uncontrollable. The Fae aimed his majestic bow around the darkened gymnasium, targeting all of them so fast he looked a blur. But he didn't fire, which wasn't like him.
"Let the training spell work through you," he barked. "You should view each other as a team, not the enemy."
In the past 6 months, the spell had yet to work even once. The vampire closest to Veru made a rude gesture to Gwyn with his middle finger. 2 across from the Fae laughed outright, while the remaining pair watched Veru, waiting for another opportunity to slice him to pieces. That, or take on Gwyn again. Only the Fae's keen ability to use that bow with his blessed arrows had kept him alive these past months. Veru studied the blonde bastard giving orders no one cared to follow. Heroic, annoying, and tasty. Veru licked his lips, famished. He could really go for some Fae right about now. That inattention cost him. Veru cursed when claws dug into his shoulder, ripping into his muscle and forcing him to cut away, losing too much blood and tissue, his regeneration hampered by his many wounds. He put on a burst of speed he could ill afford and nearly caught Gwyn. Unfortunately, in Veru's current state, he was no match for the Fae hero, who retaliated in force. No one could shoot like Gwyn ap Nudd. Veru dodged 4 of the arrows shot in the span of a second. Regrettably, he couldn't avoid the 5th and 6th arrows that followed, piercing his femoral arteries. More blood sprayed, and his fellow teammates converged on him with the bloodlust that made their species both feared and crazed. They cut into him, not to devour, but to kill. Vampires didn't eat their own kind unless absolutely necessary, but their damage would take him too long to heal. They refused to stop.
"Maim, not murder, you monsters,"
Gwyn shouted.